Alessia.
Should I wear my glasses in this video because this is a bit of an educational video? Okay, not really. Forget it. Hey guys, this is Alessia and welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching my latest videos and leaving your feedback. Thank you for joining my lives. I'm noticing that more people are joining, which is great to hear, and I'm getting a few new subscribers, which means everything, and I'm really glad you guys are still watching my videos. I just wanted to say that I'm kind of torn because I want to post this Bean Boozled video I filmed, but I filmed it so terribly. I had on this hair thing that just looks terrible, and it just was like, it was really cringy and everything, and I don't know, but if I should post it. Let me know if you guys want to see the Bean Boozled video, which is basically, I don't want to go in detail, but it's basically you'll see me like eating some jelly beans that are supposed to taste like vomit and dead fish and things like that. But let me know if you guys want to see that, and also have a reaction. This video, this is more of a serious video. I was thinking about it. I like making story times, but then I thought to myself, why don't share a story that actually affected me a lot. Like it's not like a huge thing, but because something happened today with my sister that kind of has to do with this, I decided why not share my story that happened. So as you can see by the title, at one point in my life I did have an eating disorder. When you guys think of eating disorder, most people will think of anorexia, bulimia, basically an eating disorder that is kind of characterized by being afraid to gain weight, or basically about your appearance, okay? But mine was not that. It says eating disorders are serious conditions related to persistent eating behaviors that negatively impact your health, your emotions, and your ability to function in important areas of life. So what I kind of went through does count as an eating disorder, even though it might not be the one you guys are thinking of. This took place, I remember it was in 2015, and this lasted about a few months, like 5-6 months. Unfortunately, it happened when my relatives came here from overseas, and they had to see that unfold, and it was bad. So I believe it was May of 2015. So I have like life-threatening allergies, and this is a whole separate video, but this is something that is very serious, and my mom is like really paranoid. She's like really scared and everything. And because this is serious. So anyways, I believe I remember this date, it was like in April or May of 2015, I went to the mall with me, one of my, and like 2 good friends at the time. So we went to go watch a movie at the movie theater, and we were eating our popcorn as normal, and then all of a sudden I start to this is, I think, where my anxiety started, my actual anxiety disorder, because all of a sudden I felt like my heart, like my throat started feeling weird. And for some reason, I thought I was having an allergic reaction. So I went into panic mode. I had a panic attack. I went into flight or fight. I can't even explain it. My heart was pounding. I was so scared. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, can I call my mom? So I called my mom, and I basically got out of the theater. So I basically had a panic attack for just randomly, which happens with anxiety disorders. And it didn't have anything to do with popcorn or allergies. So I got out of it, and then, I was with my parents. They kind of reassured me and calmed me down. Like, I was panicking, and then I went, I left the theater, but I was fine walking around the mall with my family. And I think my friends saw me later, and they're like, what happened? So was that an excuse? And in my head, I'm like, they don't understand anxiety. And this is the problem I had with my elementary school friends. People would always comment, oh, why are you always worrying? Why this, like that? And now just thinking about it gets me very, very heated. I know we were young. We were like 10, 11, 12 years old. But still, it's like, people would always be like, why are you worrying? Like kind of making me feel like my anxieties were not valid. I get we were young, but it's like, I don't know. It was hard. I felt really alone in elementary school, but that's a whole nother story. So I got out, and for some reason I thought I had an allergic reaction, which I didn't. So then, we go home and everything, and then basically following the days after, the weeks after, I didn't eat. I would not trust food from out. I would not feel comfortable eating at restaurants. I would not feel comfortable eating my mom's home cooked food. And when I say this is irrational, I don't mean oh, this doesn't make sense. It does, but if you really, really think about it, I didn't even want to eat my mom's food, and she's very careful about nuts. Right now it doesn't make sense, but in the moment, anxiety can make you believe all kinds of crazy things. What I trusted was literally companies' snacks that actually said nut-free, because I knew that I would be fine. And it was terrible. I lost so much weight. I wouldn't eat. I went to school, and I literally wouldn't eat my lunch. I'd literally be so paranoid. Like, I look at my sandwich and I would think, like, what if the bread, like, the seeds, like, some of them, like, were nuts. Like, I took, like, mini bites and I was, like, terrified. My heart was always pounding. I went through this phase and it was terrible. Like, it was bad. My sister's also going through this anxiety phase with something, like, really similar, but, like, I wouldn't eat. Like, I'd be terrified for some reason. So I went to school once, and I don't remember if it was pizza lunch at school or if it was my own lunch, but I took a bite, and for some reason, like, my fight or flight went on again, thinking I was having an allergic reaction, and I raced up, and I took off from the classroom, and I chased the principal down, sort of, and I'm like, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. Like, I was freaking out, and she's like, oh, do you want to call your mom? So, like, I did, and, like, you don't understand, like, I was dreading lunch so much. Like, lunchtime, I was always scared for some reason. Like, even going outside in September and October, we would have to do cross country. There was bees, and I was afraid I would be allergic. Like, my anxiety in elementary school was the worst. Like, it was, I cannot even explain how bad it was. And also one time we were in mass, because I was in a Catholic school, and it was like the communion, right? And I was scared to take the communion because I thought, like, what if the priest like had nuts beforehand and ate them, and then the communion, and it transferred and it got me like that. So I took the communion, and then when I say my throat felt like it was closing in panic, it wasn't because I was having an allergic reaction. It was because I was having a panic attack. So I go out and I say, like, to the teacher, like, I go to the teacher and I start freaking out. So she takes me to the office, and, like, I start to kind of calm down. So then at the end of the day, the teacher talks to my mom and tells her what happened, like, how I had, like, a panic attack and stuff. When my grandparents and, like, uncle were here, which was that year, it was bad. Like, I wouldn't eat. Like, I lost so much weight. Like, I was so skinny. It was really bad. I was so scared, and it was really bad. Like, I don't know, thinking about it now, like, it's just crazy how, like, I wouldn't even trust my mom's own cooking sometimes. Like, I'd be so scared. Like, it was just something in my head. Like, it wasn't right. So what ended up happening was I went to go see a psychologist. I went to see therapists, like, 2 of them in the room, and I was talking to them about, they were talking to me, kind of trying to sort my thoughts out, and I can't really remember what happened, but I did also go to cognitive behavioral therapy. So I went to this group with kids who had a bunch of anxieties and fears, but I noticed that this group wasn't helping me that much. Like, they gave me techniques that did sort of help, but I don't know what happened. I think I kind of just, like, convinced myself on my own, or, like, kind of helped myself. And I'm not saying therapy doesn't help, but I cannot remember, like, I think it just went away like that. Like, I can't really remember if they said something or did something, but I'm pretty sure I tried a few coping mechanisms and, like, you know, kind of outgrew it. And it kind of stopped. Like, then I just completely went away, and, like, my grandparents were so happy and everybody was happy because I wouldn't eat for months. Like, there was this phase I just wouldn't eat anything, and it went away. And I also had social anxiety in 2017, but that's also another story. It just, like, felt like everybody was always staring at me in public, and I wouldn't want to go in public with, like, friends. I feel like everybody's looking at me. And then when I went with this guy, I was so nervous and scared, and, like, I just feel like we were being watched all the time. And, like, I feel like social anxiety is still sort of there for me, just because of, like, weird people, but it's not, like, that bad that will make me, like, really scared, because I think to myself, you know, these people, like, don't care what you do. Like, these people have their own life. They're not staring at you like you think. You know, anxiety can be a pain in the butt, but there's ways to cope with it. And eventually, when you're past the phase of this anxiety, you'll realize, man, it was just all in my head. Like, it wasn't even, like, I don't, like, kind of like it was just all in your head. Anxiety is valid. I want you guys to know that having an eating disorder, having anxiety is valid, even though sometimes it's like your thoughts may be a bit irrational. That's okay, because, you know, that's, anxiety can do that to you. You know, that's just kind of, it's like in your, like, it's an act, my leg's so itchy, a mental health disorder. So it's not like something that, you guys know what I mean, right? I don't know how to explain this, but I just want you guys to know that if you have eating disorders or anxiety, that you are not alone. If anybody out there has like anorexia or bulimia or anything like eating disorders that has to do with, like, kind of their appearance and their weight, maybe I'm not going to be able to relate in the same way, but I do know how it feels like to, like, be scared of food and not want to eat it, and feeling like something bad's going to happen to you when you eat it. Yeah, that was really bad. And again, it's starting to happen with my sister, because she's, like, eating something, and then she'll be like, does it have nuts? Like, she'll eat, like, she won't not eat, but, like, she'll be, like, really careful, but, like, in an anxious way, because my sister's very anxious naturally. When I was her age, this kind of happened when I was her age too, so it's like, this phase sometimes you go through, things do get better, and I'm so happy that, you know, I just kind of overcome that social anxiety phase and the anxiety, like, you know, get over it in such a small amount of time. So I am so glad that I feel stronger today, and I want you guys to know that everything gets better, because in that point in my life I thought that it was going to be like that forever and I was never going to get out of that, but I did. So guys, if you need anything or you just like to chat, you know where to find me here, or you can find me on Google Hangouts. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave below any experiences you have, anything, and also please remember that down below I do have my tell on YM. Thanks guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications. Leave below video suggestions or anything like that, any positive messages. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Remember, everything gets better. Bye.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go.